Hello, ladies. In this episode of the Tracy Gold Show, we are talking about how to have gorgeous hair over 40, 50, 60, and beyond, regardless of the texture of your hair or the type of hair that you have. So today, my guest is a hair expert and educator, Theta Blackwood, and I'm going to have her join me now. And she is
on live. And we'll just give her a second. Hey, Christine, so good to see you. Hey, the Rebel Nerds. Great. Hi, Theta, how you doing?
Hi, can you see me?
I can see you,
Okay,
girl. I
I
can
can't
see
see you
you.
yet. I don't know what it's doing. There it is.
Oh, there
Okay,
we go. The fabulous internet Wi-Fi connection, right?
exactly.
So Theta is an amazing woman. She actually introduced me to the product line that we're going to be talking about today. But Theta, before we get stuck into the tips, because you know a lot about hair, and I have found your tips and tricks to be super, super helpful. I just want to hear a little bit about you and how you got started working with serum.
Well, yeah, I actually have been in direct sales for 20 years. I started my career in interior design years ago, and I stayed at home with my kids, and I found a company called Southern Living at Home that no longer exists, but I started doing home parties and built a multi-million-dollar business from home alongside being a stay-at-home mom. So fast forward, when that company closed, I went on to represent a jewelry designer, which is when you and I met, because you're into fashion, I'm into jewelry, and then the pandemic happened.
Mm.
And, I just didn't, well, the company that I was working with closed, but I also didn't have in my heart to sell luxury goods when people needed food and toilet paper. So,
Yeah.
a girlfriend of mine called me and told me about a new startup company with Serum, this hair company. And at first I thought, well, my hair is just fine. I mean, okay, not totally just fine. I had noticed, I had noticed during the pandemic that my forehead was getting a little bit bigger, but I didn't really want to admit that to anyone. And,
Mm.
I also really hadn't taken a hard look at the quality or the health of my hair. I just assumed that because I colored it and whatever, it was as good as it would get. So
Hmm.
when I found these products, I don't know what prompted me to do it, but I took a picture of my hair before I used these products. And after one use, I could see a difference.
Wow.
Fast forward to 6 months ago, I mean, my hair is lights out, stronger, healthier, shinier, and I've got my hairline back.
That is incredible, Theta. That is amazing. And so, what is the trick to that? Because I have seen so many women, I mean, hair is a thing, right? Like it's kind of our crown, I think, in a way. And so, and I see so many women go through really difficulties with their hair, losing their hair, thinning of their hair. I mean, I don't have a hair loss problem, as some of you may be able to tell. I'll tell my story just now, but I
Yes.
mean, I have different challenges with my hair than you have, but that's quite something to realize that you have a receding hairline and your hair is thinner than what it could be. So what is the secret?
Well, it is the theorem method, these amazing products. And again, I didn't know I needed them. So
Mm,
it's kind of a crazy thing. I mean, if somebody's watching and y'all have a question, feel free to pop in. But it's like I posted today actually on my feed a before and after, and I thought I
yes.
looked good. I look better. It's so the method is three products. I'm going to grab them here that really help heal your hair from root to tip. And the first one, and I love the math terms, but it's square root.
Yes.
So square root actually is a scalp treatment. It nourishes
Okay. Hold on. Why is that important? So this is the part of the, because in this show, it's about hearing women's stories, but it's also
the,
about getting practical tips for everyday women. Why is it so important to nourish the scalp?
well, lots of reasons. First of all, it is your skin. Now, we spend a lot of money on skincare, right? And we
Yeah.
want our skin to look healthy, but we are sometimes putting bad products on our hair or scalp. And it can cause inflammation on the scalp. So you can have inflammation on the scalp from a variety of reasons, but it could be hormones, it can be weight loss, it can be diet, it can be medications that you take, and it can even be COVID. There's such a thing as COVID hair, but
I have heard that, yes.
Square Root is gluten-free, vegan, hypoallergenic. It is cruelty-free, and it really reduces the inflammation on the scalp with amazing ingredients. And then it promotes hair growth with caffeine. Now, for you are going, I don't need any more hair. It is not going to create more hair follicles on your hair.
Which is exactly, Theta, that's exactly what I said to you when I was asking you about these hair products. I was like, oh no, don't give me more hair, right?
Yes, right. But for someone like you have a lot of heavy hair, and this is a root lifter as well. So this can create root at the lift. So if you have fine hair and you just want a little bit more zhuzh, you can do that. And then of course for you, it can become a beautiful root lifter, and of course keep your scalp healthy.
Yeah. And in fact, Theta, so I have mine here because I did actually purchase the products for myself. So just so that, completely transparent, these haven't been given to me to promote. I really have tried them and love them. And I was doing a video earlier on my Tracy Gold fashion tips today, and I show how I use the root lift. And it always amazes me because I can see myself, in the selfie thing, but just by spraying a little bit here and going in, and just so that people know, this is not loss of hair. This is just that I am very gray here. So this is my natural color, but my horns are gray. I call them my horns. But it's amazing, Theta, how it just lifts up. And also what I find, I don't know if you find this, but also change of season. I find that my scalp tends to get very kind of sensitive and dry. So is that how would you know if your scalp is inflamed?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can have for one, you can have a dry, itchy scalp, and this will help nourish it and get it to the right pH. So that's one thing that you might notice. But you also might see the hair loss. You might see some of that. Yeah, you might see some hair loss, and this really does nourish the scalp, the skin. So if you have an irritated scalp, most likely this will help that.
See, what I think is so interesting is that we spend so much time on the way our hair looks, and we spray, we put product in it, and we do. And I've noticed recently, I would say probably in the last year and a half, there's been a lot more awareness about scalp health and how important it is, and how actually our hair growth is starting from here. And some experts have even said that when we're losing our hair, we're not necessarily losing it from the root, but it's that our hair is breaking off because the hair isn't strong enough, because it's not being nourished at the at the shaft and at the root. And so therefore the baby hairs are coming out, or sometimes even long hair, and then our hair is breaking off. Because as we get older, many of us are color treating our hair. We're having treatments done, and I mean, I used to have regular keratin treatments, but I'm finding that since I started using serum, I don't think I'm going to need those anymore.
I don't think you are either.
Yeah, and it's amazing because what put me off the keratin treatments here is that they do have chemical content. So I had managed to find, ones that didn't have chemical content in South Africa, but here it seems to be much harder to find. So I'm finding that there's a huge difference in even my hairbrush. Like, I'm not seeing as many hairs in my hairbrush after blow drying this mane of hair. So that's interesting. And so, Theta, then tell us about some of the other ones that you have, part of the method, because you mentioned the method. What are the other products that are included?
So this is Density, and Density is a deep conditioning treatment. And I did not know I needed that either. So my entire life, because I have thin and fine hair, I have a lot of it, but it's fine. I never used a deep conditioning treatment because, well, quite frankly, a shampoo and a conditioner was about all I thought I needed.
Yes.
However, this is the first hair mask or hair treatment, like a leave-in. You can use it 3 different ways, and I'll explain that. but this is the first leave-in conditioner I've ever been able to use because it's water-based. It doesn't have all that sticky gunk in it. I've tried it 3 ways. So if you have really super, super fine hair, you could use it as or in place of your regular conditioner. As a rinse out. You can also use it as a hair mask. So say you have, I mean, I've done it this way too, fine hair. You want to leave it on your hair for about 5 or 10 minutes in the shower and then rinse it out if you just don't want any other product on your hair. I am finding that I use a pea size literally for my hair, and I just rub it in my hands and rub it through my wet hair. Now, the beautiful thing about this is it seals the hair shaft, so any damage gets healed. It also reacts to heat, so if you heat style your hair, you're going to see and feel a better hair shaft afterwards. But
Yeah,
it's also
Theta, I'm definitely experiencing that. So what I do with mine, because and this is great because we can share because we have completely opposite hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually just wash and condition my hair, and then I put it on after. I always used to use hair masks. I'm very au fait with those, but I have to say that this is a phenomenal hair mask. But what I like about it is that I use it after I've towel dried my hair, and I leave it in as a conditioner. And then the cool thing is that I don't have to then use a heat protector as well.
Exactly.
It's all in one, right? And so I put it kind of from mid head to all the way down. And then I blow dry my hair, and I'm finding that it's getting a sleeker look. It's also like, when sometimes have you ever had where you're using a styling tool and it starts to burn off the product?
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of gets a bit scary because it feels like it's your hair. But it isn't, and it doesn't do that with this density. It doesn't even seem to burn the actual part, and it just gives me a much sleeker look, even when I'm doing curls. And I use it during the week because I only wash my hair once a week, and I use it almost every day, and it just helps to tame and kind of, makes my hair look more in control.
Exactly. And you can use this as a styling cream as well. I mean, for someone like me, maybe I get a little like flyaway or something like that, and I do have some baby hair growth as well, but I'll take a little bit of this too, rub it, and just smooth down some of the flyaways. I wish I had this when my daughter was in dance and I had to do a bazillion hairstyles because it's not crunchy, and it's a lovely styling tool as well.
That's also what's quite important, Theta, is that because I don't wash my hair every day, I'm finding that these products I can use in my hair every day, and it doesn't make my hair feel like it needs to be washed.
Yes.
Because it is water-based, and so I don't get that crunchy feel, which is horrible.
Yeah, it's crazy good. And even when you clean your brushes and combs, you know how when you use styling products, they can accumulate in your hair tools, your comb and brush.
Yes.
And I'm not finding that with this at all.
That is so interesting. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. And so tell us about, okay, so I have a hard time saying which is my favorite product. I keep saying it's my favorite product, but they all are. But the sugar pie, this is amazing stuff.
It is amazing stuff. So it is called Sugar Pie, P-I, as in math. We like to joke that you can leave it on your hair for 3.14 seconds, but I'm just kidding.
I'm actually going to put some in now.
It is a very lightweight serum. Is probably it's very watery.
Yes.
And it smells slightly sweet. It is a sugar-based oil or squalene, but it's not really oily. What it does do is it heals split ends, and there's some real cool science behind it. It creates an amine bond that literally will take the split end and just bloop together. And it really is a bond in science, all science geeky stuff that's kind of cool. But it also makes your hair hydrophobic. So what that means, your hair tends to be hydrophilic. It is going to attract water from the air. And what happens when water gets into your hair, it makes it frizz. So if you can make your hair hydrophobic, it is going to reduce the frizz. And that is something I think we all need in the summertime. But what you can also do is you can play
and in the wintertime. And in the wintertime, and in the fall, and in the...
Yeah, actually, you know what I'm finding is my hair is less staticky, which is kind of interesting. You know, in the winter when you have hats on and things like that. Yeah.
Yes. So it doesn't get that kind of fly away kind of look. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
So
sometimes you
Christine
can play
has,
chemist.
okay, so Christine has asked us a question is if this
Yes.
is if this is greasy, and I have found absolutely not, Christine, because it's very watery. It's actually, I mean, I'm just going to do this here so you can see it. It's very watery.
Yeah.
And what I find is that for for like a few seconds, it'll make my ends look a little damp. I'm actually going to do this because my ends look also because of the texture of my hair. So even though I don't really have split ends at the moment because my hair has been trimmed, I'm finding that it's just seal exactly what you're saying, Theta. It actually seals them. So it may for a second look a little damp, but that goes away very quickly. And like I said, and I mean, I've just put it on. This is now my third time today that I've put it on.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a crazy thing. It will absolutely soak into your hair, and it can last up to 7 washes. And I started to tell you too, for people that have extremely dry hair or curly hair, a lot of people play chemist and put these two together. The reason is that because this is watery and this is more of a cream, and if you want to have more control over where you put it, you can put it, mix them together and crunch your curls.
Yeah. Christine just said she's definitely looking into this. So let me tell you, ladies, that if you do want to get more information, you can click the link in my bio or just go to tracygoldshow.com. And if you sign up to the newsletter, it will automatically send you an email. Just check in your junk and spam folders because sometimes they end up in there, but it will give you my favorite products, which all of these are included in there, and some of my favorite styling tools that I use, all my DIY styling tools. So feel free to go and do that. And then also it will give you a coupon, a $10 coupon for your first purchase, which is fabulous. And also, Theta, one of the things I want to talk about is how this is budget friendly, because many of us have had our budgets pretty much wiped out, and not everybody can afford to go to the salon and spend hours and have treatments and that kind of thing. So what are the price points with serum?
Oh my gosh, this is the best part, I think. All of our products are all just $29.99. So they are so affordable and they're top quality. So I'm going to just back up a second and tell you that the manufacturer of these products has been around for 25 to 30 years. They're United States based, and they have been manufacturing B2B for these, the past 25, 30 years. But the team of female scientists came up with this formulation that they thought was lights out good. And it used premium ingredients, like all the efficacy that you could bottle in these formulas. And they didn't want to give it away. So they decided to create or go to a consultant to figure out how to bring this in a social selling model, which is brilliant because right now we're in a society where everything ships to your door. And it is just perfect. So women and men can get premium hair care shipped to their door for $29.99 each, or you can get them as bundles. We also have an amazing subscribe and save where you can get right now this month 10, 20, or 10, 15, or 20% off depending on how many products you bundle into the auto ship. And then of course it is super awesome if you think you might want to join us in this journey, then of course you can join for just $69, which is crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to actually talk about that as well, because that's one of the things. There's a couple of things that I really love about what you've just said that really speaks to what this show is about. Is first of all, it's women scientists, right? Who've come up with a product that works for women's hair. Like I find it so interesting that often it's, formulas are created by men and men don't have hair or they have very little hair. But I love the fact that it is women scientists that have created this. And that also that there's an opportunity both for you to experience the products for yourself and love the products and then share that with your friends, your family, your community, that kind of thing. And it helps us all, right? So, and just to say that also, if you do utilize my link, so please do subscribe to the show newsletter, and that way you will get this information straight in there. And if you use my links, you're helping to support my business, which I really will which I really support because it helps me to continue to bring shows like this to you and episodes to you. So, and then also what I love, Theta, is that they offer a 60-day money-back guarantee. Like, it's no risk, right?
Yes, no risk. Absolutely. I mean, they want you to be 100% happy with it. And I just noticed that Christine just asked about dry scalp. Can I talk a little bit about the shampoo?
Yes, I'd love that. I'd love that. Go ahead.
So if you use the square root, first of all, that is going to make your scalp have the perfect pH. That's around a 5. A lot of times we go to the grocery store or wherever, and we buy even sulfate-free shampoos over the counter can have a higher pH. And our lead scientist actually explained to us how hard it is to get a sulfate-free shampoo at the perfect pH, and they have done that with serum. So the one thing that I think is really pretty interesting is that we have a set of shampoos and conditioners. One is for volume, and boy, does it create some volume. I'm not even kidding you. Have you ever bought a volume?
I haven't tried it.
Yeah, you haven't tried it. Okay, so I have purchased volumizing shampoos before and never really noticed a difference.
Okay.
This Infinity is also, this is a moisturizing formula. And
now that one I've tried.
Yes, this one is
and it's amazing.
Lights
out.
It
is lights out. Yeah,
now,
it is lights out.
What happens with sulfate-free? So when you start washing with sulfate-free, that's serum, and it is the perfect pH. If you have a really oily scalp, it might take you up to 6 washes for your scalp to normalize. You might go, what the heck is happening? It didn't take me 6 washes, but some of my clients have had up to 6 washes for their scalp to sort of normalize. And the scalp can actually overproduce oil when we're drying it out with the sulfates. Sulfates are actually the bubbles, the detergent that makes your hair feel squeaky clean, but that's not really good for you. That can also dry out your scalp. So these shampoos and conditioners really do nourish the scalp. And even my husband, who is not a product guy at all, has said, I really like these shampoos. He uses the Infinity and he's like, my scalp feels better. So, I mean, it's scalp health.
That's incredible. Christine says, she says she's very jealous of my hair. Thank you, Christine.
Me too.
I have to say though that my hair is the way it is because I have taken care of it. So I have to just say I have always used Salon products, like good quality products, because I realized very early on, even when I had like teensy budgets, that Salon products were just worthwhile on my hair because otherwise I'd have to cut my hair. But even Theta, I have to honestly say that the few weeks before I met you, I was like, I think I love the length of my hair now because it really is very long. But I was thinking, I think I might have to go and have like a really good haircut and cut off those ends because they were just, to me, it was just looking scraggly. I have not had to do that. Like I've only been using serum for a few weeks and people have said to me like, oh my goodness, Tracy, people who know me, who see me often, like, what is with your hair? It's looking amazing. Just this morning, my sister-in-law, well, she lives in South Africa, so she hasn't seen me in person for a while, just because of COVID and everything. She said to me, she goes, okay, Tracy, I have to ask you, I hope you don't mind. She says, but are you wearing extensions? Like, is that all your hair? And I was like, yes. This is all my hair. That's awesome. I think that, and I have to, and I was saying to her, man, serum, like I've got to get you some stuff over there once, things start opening up because I have seen such a massive difference. And that's bearing in mind that I have used Salon products. I have, I used to go for keratin treatments and now I don't need to go for keratin treatments anymore. I just buy the serum stuff and it's amazing. Absolutely incredible.
And there are some products out there that are vegan and all that kind of stuff, gluten-free, but honestly, I've compared a lot. Our products are lights out good and they're less expensive overall than most of the stuff out there. And they're made in the United States. It's kind of a trifecta.
Yeah. And we really want to support our country, right? We want to support US made products so that we can become more sustainable and you know, they're not going to other countries to be made. So yeah, that's amazing, Theta. So just in closing, because I'd love for you to just give, you know, you have so much knowledge, and listen, whether you decide to use serum or not, this show is really to give you the knowledge, to empower you so that you can make good and wise choices for your own hair. And, you know, we're just so excited about the product that we have to tell you about it. And, you know, once again, if you do want to get the information on serum, please feel free to go to, it's tracygoldshow.com. It is in the, don't Google it because you're going to get Tracy Gold from Growing Pains. I'm a different Tracy Gold, although I know that one. I'm old enough to remember her on Growing Pains. But go to Tracy, and it's TRACY, gold as in the color, show.com. And there'll be a pop-up straight away, like within the first 5 seconds. And you just put your email address and information in there, and it will send you, and I've already set it up. There will be an email there to give you the information about serum that you can click onto. You can also see my tools that I love. You can get the coupon as well, the $10 off coupon. You can email me. My information will be in there. So I would love to hear from you. So Theta, as closing kind of comments, what would you say are your top tips, maybe like 2 top tips for women who want to have gorgeous hair regardless of their age or hair type?
Oh my gosh. Well, that's hard. No, it's not really hard. Top tips. Okay. First of all, a couple things. The hair is all, I mean, you need to nourish it with the things that you put in your body as well. So the vitamins that you eat, hopefully naturally, or at least, you know, have your biotin and your collagen and your B vitamins and stuff like that to promote healthy hair growth. But also, using good products on your hair, obviously, like these are good. The tools that you use are important. But I would say for a lot of women our age, we are starting to see some of the hormonal hair loss. And so I would say that Square Root is probably, well, it's our #1 bestseller. And that is something that you can obviously do. And I'd say if you can't afford the whole kit and caboodle, then Density will heal your hair. If you have color treated or damaged hair, this stuff is magic in a bottle. But by all means, I think all of the products are lights out good. And we just came out with 2 new products this week. For our curly girls, there's a straightening balm. So if you are the blowout queen, you like to have your wavy hair or curly hair blown out, we have a new product called Vector. And we also have a curl cream that is called Bell Curve that is super hydrating and that will create nice formed curls without the sticky.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And so I'm very excited about those 2 products because I do both. I love the blowout and I love the curl. I like to do different things with my hair, as people, you know, who follow me on Tracy Gold Fashion Tips will know. I've been doing a series on how to do different things with your hair. But I'm going to be ordering those and I'll be giving an honest review on those. I'm going to try some weird and wonderful things with them because I have 2 different textures of hair. This is straight at the top and then it's curly on the bottom, so it'll be fun. And then also to let you know that Theta will be coming back weekly. So she'll be here Wednesday, 1 p.m. And I have shows Monday to Thursday, 1 p.m. EDT time daily. And we're doing all different kinds of topics. Nothing is off the table. We're going to talk about everything and everything fun. So make sure to follow Tracy Gold Show. It will be wonderful to have you here and engage, and we'll answer as many questions as we can. If we didn't get to your questions, please go into the replay and put in the comments because I'm happy to answer the questions, or feel free to DM me. I'm happy to do that for you too. And if I can't answer them, I'll give them over to Theta and she will. So thank you so much, Theta, for coming, and thank you for sharing your story and sharing your knowledge with us. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope all of you fabulous women just really enjoyed this show. So
thanks so much.
Till tomorrow, take care. Bye-bye.